Good morning, optimists. Today is Monday, October 9th, Columbus Day. It's a banking holiday, but market's still flowing great today. Nothing really on the economic calendar today. It's just a bunch of Fed speeches. So we should be pretty decent in order to be able to just watch order flow and look for trade ups. I did take a really nice trade right here. On my Apex account, but I took a really terrible trade on oil right when I sat down and lost $500 on that. Made almost 200 back on this, about 180. So I got a little ways to go to make up for that, but I kind of wrecked my account pretty badly on Friday. I was about $700 away from earning funding, but had a really bad day on Friday through Friday's extreme volatility, and I'm gonna be working to work through that again, I guess. So I'm gonna go for a long off 35 here. I was actually looking at a 33.50 trade earlier. I guess I could have taken it. Looked like it would have worked out quite well. I'm going to drop my sell order down, though. I think I'm going for a little too much here. Go for that. All right. Actually, we got our full 10. Nice. Yeah. So there we go. Back to almost flat. We did get a nice rip right there. I did not expect that, but it worked out. I actually think this is gonna go hit 40. I think we're gonna hit 43.40. Kind of weird. That just popped right down. I don't know about on this particular area right here. I think that we'll get some pullback before we do. But when I'm looking at the order flow here, you can see 40 is sort of line in the sand here on Bookmap, and you can see we're getting some sell off right now, but buyers are still in control by about 16,000 contracts. So on the cumulative, nailed it, volume delta. On the cumulative volume delta, you can see that there's significantly more buyers than there are sellers at this particular point in time. So I think that the price is going to want to follow volume, and we've got this about 300 orders sitting up there, but in total 2,700 orders sitting at 40. So we'll have to see if we actually push up there. We pulled back to about 35, which is to be expected. We're in the 34, 35 range right now. So making another pop up towards those highs. Good morning, Tiny. What's up, Pawn? $40 tattoo specials. $40 tattoo specials. I'm trying to get like a whole dragon, like a Asian dragon to my arm, like a portion of it. I was gonna have like just the head peeking out like right here, and then having it kind of wrap around. I don't think $40 would really fit that. But yeah, I was gonna get that to celebrate my wife. I don't know when I'll get it. Friday the 13th. Oh, did we have Friday the 13th this week in October? Oh hell yeah, dude! I love Friday the 13th. I'm not like I'm not superstitious on it being bad. I'm actually like the opposite. Like I always have really good days on Friday the 13th. We got a pullback here on price action, pulling down back below 44.30. Like I said, I kind of beat myself up pretty badly on Friday. So I was about $700 away from earning that funding, but Friday's volatility got me. I had one really nice trade. My very first trade was like a $500 trade. in my ETF account. And I was like, oh man, I didn't mean to buy this in my ETF account. I meant to buy it in my Apex account. And I bought it on ETF. Um, so as you can see, ETF, I also hit this pretty dang hard on Friday. So I'm lowering my size on it today to bring it back up to about $700 in Trail Max. Oil's ripping today. Like I was going to bed last night, and as I was laying down, um, I saw the price of oil had jumped like $3. Is that? Hang on one sec. What up, Origin? Is there early close today? I don't know. I don't think so for futures. Sorry, let me get PRZO stock off the screen here. Because that sound that you just heard, I don't like sound indicators going off for random stocks. I don't know if there's early close today. I know there is, like, I just know it's Columbus Day, but outside of that, I know it's a banking holiday, so the banks are closed today, and I think the bond market is closed today. There's a pretty big sell off there. Let's see if we get a pull, like a push back up. I think a red yellow swap would be what I would want to see in order to go long again. Like a red yellow on the 1 minute chart. And then potentially on the 10-second chart, what I would want to see is a silent switch. But you can actually see on the 10-second chart, there's a downward cross. So I wouldn't be trusting this anytime soon for upward momentum. I still think that we have the potential to get to 43.40 today. But yeah. Like I said, I'll be trading smaller size on ETF while I build this account back up a little bit. The Trail Max 5 seems like a good number. 5 ticks seems like a good scalp number today. Yeah, but I took this awful oil short right here. And I was setting up the stream, and I was just like, I went short right here. Like TTM was all solid red and stuff, and I went short right here, and I was just like, oh no, why did I do that? Like I didn't even actually have a trade plan in mind, and I was like, what, dude? I can't be sitting out here taking trades just shooting off the hip. You know what I'm saying? Oil actually looks like it's gonna pop again. I wonder if we're gonna push above 86. I'm actually kind of shocked oil popped this much, but it makes sense with the attack in Israel, because the whole reason why oil was dropping in the first place was because of a deal we were putting together with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi's involved in some ways. Saudi potentially could be affected, is actually what I should say, by the Hamas attacks in Israel. So it looks to me like Saudi has the potential to be affected by this, but they were talking about increasing oil production out there in Saudi for the United States. This is looking like a decent long here on oil. I'm going to try and grab a couple contracts. I missed the entry unfortunately. So I'm gonna cut that. That was the entry I was after. I'm gonna wait for a pullback to about 86. I might go for like 12 ticks on this. We're in 3 contracts on oil at 86.01. I'm looking for a move up to 86.13. So really I'm looking for a move to like 86.20. I want to see it rip through with gusto. We've got a cyan build here on the 1 minute chart. We've got the 9 12 26 cross. We're above the volume weighted average price. We're down below the 5200 moving average. It looks a little laggy. Is it just my screen, or like is that just me, or is that the chart itself? Oh, did I only take 1 contract? Oh, only 2 got filled? No, only 1 got filled. Oh, dude, that's whack. I moved my other 2 into price, but it looks like I potentially could have kept them where they're at. Um, we've got everything trying to sell up here at 86.15. We hit 86.12 there. I'm pulling back a little bit. I want to see this push towards 86.25. This looks like a good long setup. We've got the 9 crossing above the VWAP now. What do we top up here? We got resistance right there at 86.25. So it still looks good. I don't like this pullback, but it's not unexpected. 2 TMs at 0.33. I considered adding a 4th position, but it's too late for that. Let's see this 1 minute candle to break this high. I gotta see it break 86.12. You can see that's the high of that previous red candle there. There we go. That was a good trade. We earned 360 on that before fees. So we're up 306.96 on the day. Trail max is at 1821. So I haven't fully recovered from Friday yet. Account is at roughly 1700 out of 3K. That was a nice trade. Trying changing candles here on the ES. Yeah, I think that I saw that happen. That's why I switched to oil. Oh, you're building an Etsy store? Nice, dude. Hmm. Yeah, so my wife and I actually like she wants to get some tattoos as well. But I think we'd be flying out to you, obviously. Um, but yeah, uh, there's that rip. I said 86.25, and you can see it actually came up here, basically tapped the resistance level that I put there. I think just to let you guys know. I mean, I know that you guys know since y'all are veterans, but technical analysis to me is like definitely one of the most basic skills that I learned early on that I kind of take for granted sometimes. And I think it's just something that if we do have any newbies on the stream right now, definitely I would focus on understanding support and resistance. Because if you look here, all it was really marketing was that resistance that we came across here on these three candles. And even though I didn't put it up here at the top of the wick, I personally like to put it where there's more volume happening, not on up wicks, because up wicks might just be like a one time thing, but it's a lot more common that you're going to get multiple candles that are actually having sort of an average price between a few different candles. So that's why I like to put support that way. Other people have their own strategy where they like to put support at the very, very top of the wick. Me personally, I prefer it to be a spot that has more volume. This was such a terrible short. It would have been an amazing long though. And this was a nice trade. So that actually puts this account positive on the day. 1 minute side on oil looking to give us a golden cross. I think that what would be ideal, and I don't know if we're gonna have it or not, but what would be ideal would be to actually see oil sell off a little bit, right down to about 86. I don't know if we'll get that. It looks like we're just gonna bounce off the 90 MA. But if it sold down to about 86 and sort of hung here for a second, I think we get a very nice rip up because we'll have this golden cross happening. Friday's volatility, I also failed my secondary Apex account. Gratefully, I didn't fail the one that is like much more closer to earning funding. But yeah, Friday's volatility just kicked my butt. Oh, the resin dragon. Oh, I feel you. Dude, I'm grateful to hear that you're opening up an Etsy shop, man. Um, I I would put I would vehemently recommend opening your own e-commerce store with your own website, where people can buy stuff directly from you, because you will save a heck of a lot of money on on the fees that Etsy and some of the other e-commerce platforms will take as their cut. But obviously, that requires your own advertising and your own marketing to be able to get visitors to that website. But I personally believe, just from a somebody who ran a marketing agency, I'm going to throw my credibility out there. Here's my credibility, my little resume. That having Etsy shop and then having an e-commerce shop that you own and operate in addition to your Etsy shop, uh, is uh, more profitable on the whole, and ultimately allows you to develop your own brand and independence in time. Um, so I'm not saying to not do the Etsy shop. I'm saying good on you and badass about the Etsy shop. I'm saying in addition to, because over time, if you can broaden your time horizon some, over time, your e-commerce platform sales will typically eclipse your Etsy shop sales, and you can sell things for the same price or sometimes even a little bit less and actually make more profit, even if you're selling it for less revenue. So we're gonna build social using Etsy. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, using Etsy to start out on others, and then I'll make the switch. Yeah, I know I have friends who have like seven-figure businesses that started off this way as well. Like they started off on Etsy and then they started developing their own e-commerce brand, and they still keep the Etsy shop, but they they have their main e-commerce site, and they're like, our Etsy shop, ends up pulling in about 20% of our revenue, while our e-commerce site pulls in more like 80% now. But it didn't start off that way. On the other, in the beginning, it was more flip flopped. Like Etsy was pulling in all their visitor traffic and helping to develop their brand name. So, um, and for most people, it took most of the people that I know anyway. It took them about 2 to 3 years to sort of make that eclipse happen. Um, and that was learning a lot in the space of e-commerce, and that was learning a lot in the space of actually site development and whatnot. That was a very nice pullback and rip on oil. I guess I should have taken it. I was looking at it, but I was a little hesitant to take it because of the decline in the TTM, but it ended up ripping really nicely. It was a good like 20 cents. And we got that golden cross too. I also think that I was just a little like heady from that last trade. Yes, kind of looks like it wants to sell off some. It's fighting the 4330 area. There's a chance we could get a decent little pop here, but oil has a nice little pullback here on the 10-second. Looks like we could have a nice rip. I already kind of missed it. Lower the size here. Got in at 46. I was gonna try to grab a little pullback, but just never got it, and just popped up quickly. So I might have chased it slightly, so we still might get that pullback, but I think I'll be okay where I'm at. I only took one contract intentionally. So this is ETF's account, so I'm just building this account back up some. This one's up 76 on the day. Nice pop on oil there, breaking over 50, over 86.50. Oil looking like it wants to run. See if we can find a top here. We got the high up there at 87 and a quarter. I don't know if we'll hit that. That seems a little excessive. You can see we had a lot of resistance along this 86.20 spot. So we could even potentially get a sell-off down to that spot. I would hope not, since we just got that golden cross. Our last golden cross was here on oil at 85.40 and ran us all the way to here at 85.90. And we got these pullbacks and we got a new crossover, which is working its way up the ladder. I don't see a top though. Not yet. I gotta pull back even more. So we got our next top there, like 86.70s, 86.75. That makes sense. Just those $quarter increments. We got 87. And then the high up there, 87.24. So we kind of have these brackets here, more or less 25-cent increments, which is cool because it sort of just makes it seem like you're just doing regular stock trading where you're just operating within those 25-cent brackets for the most part. Got a little flag here. You can see we had flag 1, flag 2, flag 3 on the 1 minute side. So this would be flag 4. Look at all these flags. Flag 1, flag 2, flag 3, flag 4. This is actually flag 5. Maybe it's even more. Mini flag 1, and then a flag 2, flag 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th flag in a row. Sixflags.com or whatever. Not sponsored. Dude, that's 6 flags in a row, man. That's it's quite the roller coaster. Pun intended. Wow. 6 flags on oil in a row, dude, that's crazy. I feel real stupid for taking that short that I took. Oh well. Just trying to make things harder for myself. Mm-hmm. Trail max at 1821. 306.96 profit on the day. Still a ways to go. About 1,300 to go. ES looks like it popped up a little bit over that 43.30 area that it was struggling with, and big sell off. Wow, look at that. Is the NQ selling out today too? I don't think that this sell off was particularly unexpected either. Just because we had such an insane rip on Friday through all that volatility. Like, I mean, Friday I was trading it and it was down like $30 or something like that, and then it flipped and ripped up another like $50. It was like a complete $80 reversal. I was like, wow, it was just nuts. I just couldn't have foreseen that, and I thought it was expensive when it looked like it was at the top, and then it just kept on going up and up. This was yet another flag pop. It just feels like, I don't know. I don't want to say it feels extended because I had this whole like consolidation period over here, but but it kind of feels a little extended. Now I wish I just let all this run, but I just couldn't have foreseen this many flags popping. We'll see what happens at 7:30. Done for the day. Take my own advice and walk it away. Was down 360 in two accounts. Got them back to green. Good job. On the NQ, I'm guessing. I was curious what's up with the NQ. I see where you're talking about going short. Essentially right here, and then a pull back down towards the volume weighted average price. There it was. I personally do not like to trade the NQ, man. I've gotten burned on it way too many times. I used to trade it all the time. But the NQ moves like super fast. A little too much volatility for me a lot of the time. Oil's looking for its 86.75 zone. Yeah. It looks like there's going to be a lot of off in the day today, man. Honestly, think it might be worthwhile for me to take a break and then come back. I should have followed my intuition on that trade. I was thinking to get in there around 86.60, and I watched it for a long time, so I had more than enough opportunity to get in there. Like I said, I felt like it was going to go for its 86.75 zone, and it did. I think I need to I personally believe that I want to start broadening my own time horizon when it comes to taking trades. Um, obviously, I've had plenty of success in scalping trades and taking trades like this, where it's like a couple of minutes. Um, but I wonder how much more profitable I potentially could be if I was to, let's say, for example, look at this and being able to look back and be like, all right, let's look for 8650, and get in here at 86 and ride it up to 8650 over the course of a few minutes, as opposed to I should say closer to 10 minutes here. So how long did it actually take to? It was this candle here that hit 50. So that was there at 722, and our original entry was at 709 and 710. So about 10 to 15 minutes to be able to pull that. So I guess then the question for me becomes, can I develop a 10 to 15 minute level of stillness is number one. Um Very important with the stillness, being able to have your emotions be still, and the confidence in the trading, to be able to broaden that time horizon, because 50 cents at three contracts on oil is $30 per penny times 50 cents. It's $1,500. That in and of itself, right here to right here, so that 12 minutes, um, that would have gotten me close to earning funding right there, just on that one section. And so the question is, can I develop that? I'm sure the answer is yes, but the question is how. And so that, I think, is going to come down to developing some stillness in my heart, as well as a little bit more steeliness in my trades. Obviously, this entire range here would have earned funding on one count, but I'm not looking to take a full range, buy at the bottom and sell at the top. Obviously, I'm looking for more like a piece of it. I did get a nice little chunk here, but there definitely was a lot more meat available on the bone, and a lot of indication of that meat being accessible. So, getting a pullback now into the 8640s, kind of seemingly looking almost like a head and shoulders, kind of a funky looking one, but nonetheless. I'm wondering if we have to sell off here a little bit from 8650 down to 8625, and potentially consolidate in that zone. Stillness of the Heart is a Seal song, but I knew that I didn't know. No, I had no idea actually. Um, the the only song I am aware of by Seal is that "Kiss by a Rose" song, which was, I think, in Batman Forever. And that's it. That's the only Seal song I am aware of. Ryan Holiday has a book called "Stillness is the Key." But this whole concept of stillness is actually something that, I've spent a lot of time in my life developing my emotional control, and just sort of not being reactionary to everything. But this concept of stillness is just one that's just been sort of downloading into my head for the last few weeks. Practice stillness. And I just randomly heard it one day, and I just keep hearing it over and over again. Um, is develop your practice of stillness, and I just keep hearing it over and over and over again. And I think that I think that humans, we actually have access to a lot more divine knowledge than we give ourselves credit for. Would have been a nice short there off of 86.75. Honestly, like I said, looks like we're gonna turn around a little bit on oil for while we consolidate. We got a red candle showing on TTM on oil. I wouldn't be so inclined to take a short. I mean, obviously, I took this short down here and completely regretted it instantly. Because it just came right back. This could turn into a U-shaped pattern, but in a way, it looks somewhat like a Head and Shoulders. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go right here, so I'm just not gonna take any action. We've got what looks to be a 9, 12, 26 downward cross forming on a red TCM candle. So we could sell off down to like 86.25 area where the 50 moving average is, which to me seems the most likely, and then a bounce off the 50. The other thing is that if we get like a lot of sell off, then I would say down here to 86 or the VWAP. But if we sell off down here, then we may get just a much larger sell off on the day. I don't really know that that's going to happen. It seems more likely to me that we'll get a sell off down to about 86.25 on this 50 moving average and then either dip below it slightly and then bounce or bounce directly off of it. I might look for a red to yellow on the 1 minute. Or we can check the 10 seconds, see if we get a downward cross followed by an upward cross. Which may not happen. We got to pull back down to 86.30s, and we're starting to pop again. Charts are a little laggy right now. I'm gonna shut down. Should I shut down Bookmap? I don't know. Still showing buyers in control on the ES. Or at least buyers, a lot more buyers on the cumulative delta. I kind of feel like the ES is more inclined to sell off today, though, after Friday's rip. Loves Divine. I'm not sure what that is, but I will check it out and see it there. Or see it. Big buy at the last minute on which chart, Tiny? On oil? It was a nice little pop there on oil. Like from 30 up to almost 50. This is looking like this could be the turnaround point. There's still a red candle on the TTM. And it did sort of bounce Off that 50, like I mentioned, slightly above it though. It's closer to bouncing off the 35. Could be forming an ABCD pattern here. TTM is at negative 0.15. That red to yellow could be coming very soon. Then at that point, we would get a break above 86.50 and likely a move back towards the test this 86.75 zone. And there's 86.50. Can we get a little pullback? All right. I took 3 contracts in at 48. I hope that this is I think I pulled the trigger on that as I was looking for that to be the break, and I already called this as an ABCD pattern. Damn it. So I'll have to see if this ends up being the break here. I'm looking for a move up to 60. 60 seems reasonable within this zone. I'm going to switch back to red, and that's not good. Yeah, I don't love this trade. I'm gonna drop this down to 51, but I probably just need to cut this trade. I'm gonna keep a very close eye. Already at our risk. Yeah, we passed our risk. Tricked me. I got a cut. Whack. That puts me red on the day. Off that one trade. So, my fault. I mean, in reality, I called this as a head and shoulders, but then I later called this as an ABCD pattern. And even then, on an ABCD pattern, this would have been a bad entry because, gosh, got a frog in my throat today. Because it would have been the A and then buying into the B. Totally just got hit with that. Like, we literally was just talking about stillness. And this sell off here should have been anticipated based off of it being ABCD itself. So I guess shame on me. Gonna watch this 10-second chart because I do believe that we're gonna get a reversal here. But I definitely would not mind seeing this sort of consolidate down here on 86.20s, 86.25 area. So some contracts at 37 for a pop up to 44. But I think that this right here might have been the move already. Yo, dude. What am I doing? Oh. Gosh, man, my throat is bothering me today. Down 10-6 in this trade, and yeah, what am I even doing? I should have walked away like I talked about, and now I'm just kind of taking extra L's. That was a head and shoulders, and should have heeded that warning. Keep buying at these tops before these drops. So I took a well profit day on this account and just sort of blew it again. Uh, that's always very frustrating. If 86.25 holds, we should be good. But if it doesn't, then we could be in for a much larger loss than we're already sitting at. If we do get this crossover, this red green cross on 10-second, that will give us likely an opportunity to have this run up to 86.75. On the 1 minute side, we've got that head and shoulders forming as very much a head and shoulders. Um, we're going to need to see a 9-12-26 cross on the 1 minute side to actually have this push back up toward the highs. Um, The real question is, are we going to get a bump back up towards 86.60s or 86.50s? We do have this ABCD here. 86.60 is the top of this little zone here, and 86.53-ish is the top of that zone. So this 10-second crossover, I think will get us a push towards 86.60. Might take a little bit of a risky trade here and bump this to 86.60 which is an additional 12 ticks over my original trade plan from this. But this trade plan in and of itself is already bunk, in my own personal opinion. So we're still gonna watch this, and this 86.25 zone is very crucial. TTM says 0.16. We're down 12 ticks in this trade at the moment. 10 ticks. Yeah, we got to get a break above 35. Really, we just need a break above 50. This 10-second golden cross is what's necessary for that to happen. But this is absolutely the backside of the move. 0.14 now on CTM. So there is a bump back up to break even and a little above. Entry absolutely should have been along 86.25s. We do have the 9, 12, 26 moving in the right direction. We're going to need to see that 9 get above the 200 moving average there. Running into resistance to the 200 is not unsurprising. Another 1 minute crossover here would look very nice. TCM's at 0.09. Brief op there to get out with a little bit of profit. At least on that trade, not on the day. Went long on the backside of a Head and Shoulders. We are approaching, though, this 10-second cross. Took a single contract on ETF side at 86.31. That's looking to get out of 38. A lot of the buyer volume kind of died down a little bit on the oil. Things could be switching over to the ES, or like volume could have just moved somewhere else. Got a 12-cent difference between the 50 and the 200 moving average. CTM on 1 is now 0.08. There's 7 now. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like that. I see a red on TTM1. A bit of a push up to 36. It was a big pop and then the immediate sell off. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Crazy. Yeah. Looks like we're selling down to so we broke below 25. Give this about 5 seconds. I'm out. Another L on that, and I'm done for the day because I basically just ruined my accounts again. Took a $913 loss when I was up 307 on the day. So I'm gonna have to just walk again, and it's part of it, man. Yeah, and like earlier too, I said I should walk. I felt like I should walk away and then come back later in the day, and should have heeded that advice. It was up 306 or so, and turned that into a negative 900. So it's just part of it. Sometimes it's just unfortunate. So we still have enough trailing max to be able to rebuild the account again, but it's part of it, man. It can get pretty frustrating, unfortunately. No, dude, I totally bottom ticked that. Look at this. Freaking bottom ticked it down at there at 86.15. It just came right back up into the. This is the part that's frustrating too is you can see that this is absolutely going to rip up. Like maybe not absolutely, but there's a really high probability that this is going to rip upwards. And I'm pretty sure I just bottom ticked this. I did, and now you can see that rip happening. That's very frustrating, man. They get you like that, dude. It's oh my gosh. What's worse is this one. Like I'm less concerned about the ETF one because it just wasn't nearly as close. But I mean, I was $700 away on Friday. Now I'm $2,500 away. And that's a lot. That's a major difference to switch over to. You know what I'm saying? So that's just gnarly, very gnarly. 601 is left. What's left in the trail max? I can't believe I bottom ticked that, dude. Oh well. Was that 8 o'clock? It was. Yes is dropping too. This is so close to a science switch on the on oil on the 1 minute. We got a big sell off. I don't think we had very good accuracy today. Looks like that one loss here, just now, and that took this from being a green day, to a red day on ETF. But on Apex, we had, it says 5 losing trades. I don't think that's correct. I think it's actually 2. Um, it's just counted them. Yeah, I counted them differently because of the way that it fills. Oh well, them's the breaks. I'll have to reduce size on Apex as well to develop that back up. A little miffed on it just because I was so close to passing it, and my rebuild is actually tomorrow. So it is what it is. But with that, I think I'll probably walk away on the day, and I might come back later. I'm not sure. The day seems like there's plenty of opportunity in it. I just think that I'm personally at my brain capacity, and I think I already was earlier when I mentioned it, which is why I mentioned it, honestly. So, um, but it can be tempting, like where you can still see moves setting up, and still end up showing up there, even if you're not fully there in your brain. And I think that that is one of the things that can really screw traders. So back to stillness. All right, I'm gonna jump off here. Much love, y'all. Thanks for showing up. I very much appreciate it. Go check out Pawn's SC shop. Um, Pawn, how can we get to your SC shop? What up, Ollie? Good to see you, homie. We're actually just about to end it for the day, Ollie. Of course, it was on its way back now. You can see the setup there. I can't believe we bottom ticked that, homie. That's so whack. This thing's gonna break above 50 again. There's that TTM. It's sort of like if you have the stamina to be in the count availability to be able to hold through these like massive swings like that. I tried to grab that. There's that 8660. That's what I was looking for earlier. Insane, dude. Insane. It took 2 contracts long looking for a bounce to 54. We're about to get this crossover here. And gonna take a single contract in ETF. This could be a trap. It looks like a trap. Oil be trapping me today now. Even though I reduced my size, it still ended up dropping a lot, and so it's still a pretty hefty. Still sitting on a kind of a bit more of a loss than I wanted to take there. Yep, trap me, dude. Oh my gosh, I'm done. Yikes, dude. What am I doing? All right, I'm out. Closing the accounts. That was just dumb. Revenge trade, rear flag. You're right. You're right. What time do I go on? Usually around 7. So I've gotten a little bit earlier, but I don't really show up at 6:30 because I don't really trade futures at 6:30. I'm trading stocks. Um, and usually trade stocks from about 6:30 to 7, but I do that offline, and then I jump online. So usually about 7 o'clock. Don't be sorry, Tiny. There's nothing to be sorry about. Like if anybody should be sorry, it's me. So because yeah, that's just sort of the reality of it. I mean, Pawn called it as a revenge trade. Um, he could be right. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. Peace out, y'all. Much love.